Hey everyone, it's Amanda and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is very exciting because not only is it another bullet journal video, which I know you guys love, it's also a collab with my friend Erica or Miss Louie on YouTube. We're both going to be sharing some of our top tips for bullet journal beginners, kind of like a bullet journal 101, as well as doing a fun little giveaway on both of our channels. So I will leave the link to Erica's video in the description box below, as well as at the end of this video, so definitely go check it out. You guys will love her channel. Like, if you like my videos at all, you will definitely enjoy her content. She does bullet journal videos, she does fashion, she does beauty, she does everything, and she's also, like, on top of all of that, she's also just such a great human being, and I love her to death. Of course, go send her some love. We're both doing giveaways, so stay tuned to the end of this video to see the prizes and how you can win it. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. My first tip is something that is really important, especially for those of you who are just starting out with bullet journaling, and that is to keep it simple. At least at the beginning, once you get the hang of the whole system and how everything works, then you can add in the fancy stuff. And I feel like this is really important because it can get very overwhelming, especially when you see all of these beautiful, crazy looking spreads on Instagram and on YouTube, and sometimes we just forget that the whole point of the system is to personalize your organization and your productivity. As some of you guys may know, I only started bullet journaling at the beginning of this year, so even if you go back to my first bullet journal setup video, like the very first one, you can definitely see a big difference in terms of the simplicity of my spreads. And that's because at the beginning I just wanted to get the hang of it with all of the different moving parts involved, the trackers, the logs, and all of it. I wanted to make sure that I understood how to fully maximize the system before adding any of that creative stuff later on. The creativity is definitely one of my favorite aspects of bullet journaling, but it's not the only aspect, and it's definitely not the most important aspect, because the whole point of it is to be more organized and to make your life easier, not more complicated. Of course, if you find that the minimal and simple spreads work the best for you, then feel free to stick with that. But all I'm trying to say is that if you want to add all of the decorative aspects of it, I really think you should try to just tone it down a little at the beginning and then work your way up to it, just so that you can do it more efficiently. My next tip is kind of related to the last one, but I did just quickly want to talk about materials, because I do get questions all the time on my videos asking me what bullet journal I use, what pens I use, and then at the same time I also get messages from people saying that they don't have enough money to start bullet journaling, or the supplies are too expensive. And to hold up, guys, I just wanted to tell you, all you need to bullet journal is a notebook and a pen. You don't need any fancy notebook, you don't need any fancy pen. Obviously, there are certain advantages of using certain materials, like if you prefer using a dotted notebook, it can definitely help you with lines and all of that. But if you only have a lined notebook or a plain notebook or even a grid notebook, that totally works as well. Again, if you just figure out the system, any notebook should work for you. And the same thing goes with pens. You don't need to get all of the fancy stationery stuff that you see all the time. You can just use that free pen that you got from the doctor's office, and it works perfectly fine. Of course, if you want to invest and start off with quality materials, or even eventually upgrade towards them, I would personally recommend the Leuchtturm 1917 A5 dotted journal. It's the one that I use, it's the one that a lot of people use, and it's just a great high quality notebook. And what I love about it is that it lays flat, so when you're drawing, you don't have to worry about that weird notebook bump or a spring coil in the center making it uncomfortable for you to draw. That's something to look out for when you're buying your notebook for bullet journaling. And then for fine liners and pens, there's literally millions of different kinds out there, but some of my favorites are the Faber-Castell Artist pens, as well as the Pigma Microns and the Muji gel pens. Again, you do not need to use those specific items at all. Anything will work. Alright, so my next tip is probably something that most of you have been doing since you're watching this video, and that is to find inspiration. Now, I do this all the time, especially on Instagram. There's so many beautiful bullet journal and studygram accounts on there, and I like scrolling through, and whenever I see a picture or spread that I really love, I'll use the save for later bookmark button. I don't know what it's called, but it just lets you compile a mood inspiration board of the spreads that you really like, and it helps to give you something to refer to at the beginning of the month or the beginning of the week, and get those creative juices flowing, especially because everyone's spreads are so different and everyone has different styles and everything. So having a curated list of what you prefer in a bullet journal can help you to apply it to your own. Personally, I find that it helps me a ton, so if you guys are looking for a bullet journal inspiration account to follow, you can definitely check out mine. It's just Amanda Rach Doodles. I also post a lot of my drawings on there, and of course my main Instagram account is Amanda Rach Lee, so sorry for that little self-promo in there, but in case you wanted some spread inspirations, you can check out my Instagram. Okay, so my next tip is to not be afraid to try out new spread layouts or to change it up every so often. It can be so easy for bullet journaling to become repetitive or mundane or boring, because if you do the exact same thing every single week, of course it's gonna get boring. So don't be afraid to switch it up. I always change things, and not even just from like a aesthetic standpoint, I also change the actual layout of my spreads a lot. If you check out my very first bullet journal video, you can see that I've changed up the way that I organize my week on the page, and that's just because as I go along and as I use it, I figured out what I'm looking for in my bullet journal and what works the best for me. So personally, I found that I love having a weekly log, but that might not work for some of you guys. So you can try out one layout, and then if you don't like it, just change it up for the next week. You do not have to be stuck in this rut of doing the same thing and keeping it consistent all the way through. It's supposed to evolve with you and your lifestyle and your needs, and that's kind of the beauty of bullet journaling. So I'm fully expecting that my bullet journal will look way different in December than it did in January. My last tip is for those of you who are finding it difficult to stay consistent with your bullet journal and keep it active and keep it going. That is another one of the concerns that I hear a lot in the comments. And what I would recommend is to not do your spreads too far in advance. Like right now, we're at the beginning of April. You should not be doing your May monthly spreads right now, in my personal opinion. That's what works for me. Again, everything is very up to personal preference. If you like to set up your spreads way ahead of time, go for it. But just in general, I find that if I set things up too far in advance, there's no motivation for me to even partake in the system anymore. Plus, if you set up your spreads too far in advance, you're kind of cutting yourself off from the best part of the bullet journal system, which is that you can just flip a page and do whatever you want on it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a weekly spread. Like sometimes I will flip over a new page and start writing a journal entry or start writing a shopping list, and it's fine because all I have to do for the next week is just turn it over and keep going. So if you plan too far in advance, there's no space for all of those personalized lists and entries that you might want to do. So I really like to sit down at the beginning of the month to set up my monthly spreads, which is of course the plan with me videos that you guys see. And then at the beginning of each week, that's when I will set up the next weekly spread. Alright guys, so those are my tips for bullet journal beginners. One of the main things that I want you guys to take away from this, if you take away anything from this video, is to just kind of do it and try it and then see where it takes you. Like if you sit down and you find that the system does not work for you, you can either switch it up and personalize it to your liking, or maybe it just doesn't work for you at all. Sometimes that just happens. But I hope you guys found this video helpful. Don't forget to go check out Erica's video if you want to hear more tips and tricks about bullet journaling. I will leave it linked down below as well as up there in the cards, so go check that out. But now, of course, on to the giveaway, which is probably what you guys have all been waiting for. Me and Erica wanted to do kind of like a beginner's bullet journal kit giveaway, so we're each giving away our personal favorite bullet journaling materials, everything you need to get started. So for my prize pack, I'm giving away, of course, a Leuchtturm 1917 A5 dotted journal, my favorite. I'm also giving away just this little side notebook from Muji just because I thought it was cute, and I added a rose stamp for you guys. Along with that, you guys are going to be getting my favorite fine liners. a couple of other pens. I have a Tombow dual tip brush pen in gray, a Muji pen, this is my favorite for writing, as well as the Tombow Fudensky pen, which is great for calligraphy, and then this thing, which is my baby. If you've watched any of my bullet journal videos, you guys know that this white gel pen is my life and my savior, so you'll be getting one of those as well. And then along with that, you'll be getting a 50 pack of Crayola Super Tips markers. I love these guys, they are awesome and I use them all the time. And then finally, you will also be getting a pack of some fun washi tape from Muji. These ones are really pretty, it's just like this burgundy pack. So that's everything you will be getting, this fun prize pack. The prizes for Erica's giveaway are completely different and the whole entry pool is separate, so that means you guys have 2 different giveaways that you're able to enter to win some fun bullet journaling materials. It's going to be super easy to enter both of our giveaways, so everything you need to know, including the rules and Erica's giveaway and video, will be in the description box below as usual, so click down there for more details. Anyways, that's all for me. I'm gonna stop talking now. I hope you guys have an awesome day and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.